Hey, what's up, everyone? I would like to begin today's video by stating that of the major coin grading companies, that by far my favorite one is PCGS. As a matter of fact, all the coins I buy that are graded, all are PCGS coins. I think they have the best resale value, and I tend to trust their grading more than the other graders. So, like I said, I'm a supporter of PCGS. I also like to use their website and their apps for research, and I find them very useful and very informative. So I'm not some guy who like hates PCGS and is like piling on them, but for by any means. With that said, I don't know if a lot of you tend to use the PCGS website and like the CoinFax app and their price guide and stuff, but in the past I've noticed some strange stuff. Now, as far as saying PCGS has great information and good organization of that information, useful facts, I agree with all of that. Definitely some top-notch stuff. The only thing I do have an issue with is that I don't think it's really upgraded and updated as much as it should be. Tonight I had kind of an interesting thing that made me think. So I've thought about making this video in the past, and I've kind of like ebbed and flowed on whether I should make it or not. But today I saw something that was interesting, and I I checked out the prices, the PCGS price guide prices on some Chinese gold pandas. Now they were graded, and this is the PCGS price guide, and the prices for the coins are actually below melt value. Now, if they were at melt value, I could kind of understand that, or if they were like a dollar or two over, I could understand it because maybe in certain grades they just there's no premium on them. But I found it curious that we've seen silver have a pretty good, gold have a pretty good spike up in the last couple of months, but yet the price is lagging on them, and like I said, it's below melt value. Now, some might say, well, maybe they updated them a month ago and it hasn't caught up to the price increase, which is definitely a fair and valid point. But what I'd like to also bring up to you is that I checked out, I was watching a video, and the video mentioned the 1934 S Peace dollar. And I checked out the 1934 S Peace dollar. And if you check out CoinFax, and I encourage you to do this, go to Google. If you don't have the CoinFax app on your phone, go to Google and like type in a coin. For example, like type in 1916D Mercury dime and just put in PCGS. And the first result you get should be the CoinFax page for that coin. Like I said, if you don't want to try that coin, try out any other coin. So I checked out the 34S. And it gives you some really cool tools. One of them tells you how much the coin sold at, along with links from different recent auctions. Another one has the price guide information, along with price guide prices for each grade, plus the current population survey for that particular grade. It also has, this is cool, has a survival rate, and it tells you the coin's rarity. Usually, what it does is the survival estimate of the number of coins that are currently they think in existence for all grades, and then above MS60, and then above MS65. So I checked out the 34S just for kicks. Now keep in mind that I've done some reading for the survival estimates to see exactly what they consider. And the survival estimates are supposed to encompass the surviving stock of a particular coin, graded and ungraded, in all grades and from all grading companies. So, for example, if there's a particular coin and it says that they estimate that there are 1,000 survivors, the 1,000 survivors should encompass coins from 1 through 70, whether they're all ungraded coins and all graded coins, whether they be by PCGS, NGC, Annex, ICG, and all the other companies. So it's everything. Well, I checked out the 34S Peace Dollar today, and if I remember correctly, it said they were supposed to be. They estimate that there are 300 survivors at MS65 and above. So what I did was I looked at PCGS and I added up all the survivors for MS65, MS65 plus, MS66, MS66 plus, MS67, and so on and so forth. I think the highest might have been MS68 offhand. And there were like 284 that were graded at that level. So we have 200. So they're saying there's like 300 available. 300 have survived. And they've graded like 280 or 284. I'm sorry, I forgot the exact number. But like 284. Now, I didn't go to NGC to see how many they've done. But if PCGS is graded like 284 of them, I bet NGC is graded at least 1 or 200. And for that matter, Annex has probably graded some. At least several dozen, I guess, because Annex has been around a while. ICG's probably done some. And then there's probably a whole bunch. If you go on a place like eBay right now, there's probably a whole bunch of them on eBay for sale that are ungraded. And I bet that most of us can walk into a coin shop and there's probably like an okay chance that maybe we'd find one at a coin shop. It seems like there's probably a lot more than 300. Now you might say, well, I mean, that's just one coin. And I'd say, sure, you're correct. Now, in the past, what I've done is I've checked out other coins that I've had. Like there have been some occasions when I might have picked up, let's just say, like a random, capped bust dime, capped bust quarter, or like a seated Liberty quarter or something. And what I'll do is, even though it's raw, what I want to do is I'll go to the PCGS site because again, some of the information they have is really good. So even though it's not a PCGS graded coin, it's not graded at all. I will go there just to see the mintage of the coin. Sometimes there are some commentary about the coin and its history, so I enjoy reading that stuff. Then I'll go to the rarity, and when I go to the rarity, it'll tell you again how many exist total in all conditions, and then over MS60, over MS65. And sometimes I see really, really, crazy numbers for certain coins. Like I might see that maybe 100,000 were minted or 200,000 were minted, but maybe there's only like survival estimates like, 3 or 400. And, over MS65, there might only be like 30 known or something like that. Well, then you look at the population report, and in some cases, I've actually seen population reports that exceeded what the survival estimate is. So, for example, PCGS might say, oh, there are only 50 of them in MS65 or better. Oh, but then you go to PCGS and they've actually graded 72. So you add that to what NGC did, Annex did, and ICG, and you're way over that particular number, and then you add in all the ones that are not graded. Now, I've seen this happen on multiple occasions. Now, they only say that survival estimates are just that, they're an estimate. And, I don't take them as something that it's, absolute or the 100% truth, obviously. What it is a bunch of experts making their best guess. And I understand that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate them using their knowledge to let us know whether something is kind of rare, sort of rare, really, 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 really rare, or common. I appreciate that. The issue is, if you're using this stuff, I just want you to know that because I have a feeling that maybe some of the information on this is kind of out of date. I think they're pretty good at updating newer things and more popular items. Like, and I haven't checked this out, but I bet if you checked out coins like the 1909 S VDB cent, the 1916 D Mercury dime, the 32 S or D Washington quarters, 1955 double die cent. I bet if you checked out coins like that are both high profile and really popular, or maybe sets that are more popular sets, like say like Walking Liberty halves, Mercury dimes, things of that nature, that those are probably updated more frequently, because it's very possible that maybe they update, like, let's say Mercury dime sets, set stats more frequently than they would, let's say 1790 silver dollars, because that's probably something that there's really not much activity on, because there really aren't that many to sell. So maybe they don't update it as frequently. I know a lot of people who have Mercury dimes. I don't know many people who have pre-1800 silver dollars. So that could be a good reason. Like I said, the biggest issues I've noticed were with some 1800s type coins. So what I would do is, if you don't use Coinfax, I would check it out, because despite what I'm saying here, I do actually believe it's a really good thing to use to give you an idea of kind of like the history and standing of your coin, and give you some really good information. And a lot of times it piques my interest, and I find other things. But what I would also do is kind of maybe check out some of those numbers on the rarity scale, because sometimes, like I said, they'll say there's like a few hundred in existence, but there might be a few hundred, like, just according to them, or maybe they've even graded more. And I brought this up to a coin shop owner I know, and he's been involved with numismatics for decades, and he found it hard to believe. And he said, well, it's probably only like mint state grades. I said, nope, it's all grades. All grades? Yep. And as a matter of fact, if you don't believe that, just check out everything MS60. Look at what they say the estimate is for MS60 and above, then read what they've actually graded. It exceeds it. He goes, well, it should never exceed it. And I said, yeah, I agree, but it does. Not in every case. Maybe not in the majority of cases, but in quite a few that I've noticed, it really does. So just something to pay attention to and to check out. Like I said, I probably should have actually made like a little chart and given you specific coins to check out, but just pick a coin. Pick whether it's I don't know, cap bust dime, or a particular year half cent, or a large cent, and just check it out and look at the survival estimates. In a lot of cases, you'll see that the graded coins exceed the survival estimates, which really doesn't surprise me if they haven't been updated in a while. Graded coins seems to be getting more and more popular, so I could see how PCGS might have thought that a particular coin might only have about 1,000 available, say 5 or 10 years ago, because maybe they only graded 150. But then over the years, this year you get 80 graded, next year you get 40, next year you get 20, and then they're upgrading their population reports, but they're not upgrading their survival estimates. And then I know some people might be saying, well, sometimes people will get a grade they don't like, and then they'll crack out the coin and try and resubmit it. And I think with some of these rarer coins, that's a possibility. You might be trying to fish for a grade. Maybe you got an AU 50 and you were hoping for a 55. Maybe you submitted a couple of times. I don't know. It's certainly possible, but I don't think that would account for all of it, because especially with some of the lower population coins, I could see people doing that, seeing that have more of an effect with the high population, just because there's so many opportunities. I could see people doing that with some Morgan dates, to be honest with you. But with some of the type coins that you don't see around that much, I kind of find that hard to believe. But like I said, my purpose here was twofold. One, if you don't use Coinfax, check it out. Very cool app to use for PCGS. And their web resources are good. And just a warning on the survival estimates, that I don't think they update them too much. But that's about all I got here. Have a good one, and if you do like these kind of videos, I do appreciate a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Have a good one.